Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm doing a bit of decluttering and a bathroom deep clean. This is episode 10 of my whole house deep clean and declutter series, and it was hugely inspired by methods used in the Fly Ladies Sink Reflections book and also Organising from the Inside Out by Julie Morgerston. I hope I haven't butchered her surname. And it was also a very difficult video for me to film because I had my executive dysfunction and my perfectionism kicking in full force. It felt a little bit all over the place and it might not make sense, but I will try to explain the steps that I had to take. And surprisingly, I've started off with decluttering the bathroom because I want to do my kitchen. I know that's the first bit that would probably confuse you and be like, what, why, how? But I will try and explain my thought process in this one, and I hope it makes sense. And even if you're not anywhere near in the disastrous mess that I am in at the moment, I hope that at least it gives you a few ideas of things that you can reorganize, things that you can discard, help you declutter a few things. It is a lot. It's a longer video and I have to speed it up because otherwise it would have been a few hours long, and I'm pretty sure you would have gotten bored because I don't really zoom in the camera. I don't move the camera a lot too much to show you every single product I'm touching, every single thing that I'm throwing away. One, I don't think that you would be interested in that, and two, if I have to move the camera around to try and give you a close-up of every angle, I'll probably never manage to get my house done anyway. So, I am not a content creator. I don't care about creating aesthetically pleasing, satisfying videos. I am just a regular mom trying to help other regular moms get on top of their own stuff and hopefully find some happiness and life balance, something that burned out moms are always looking for, and it always somehow seems to be just out of reach. Now, a few videos ago when I started sorting out the shoes and the jackets downstairs, I did say that I'll be jumping from room to room, and I gave you advice, or the advice that I'm following is to have a clear access of what the situation actually is, which room needs the most attention, what your biggest problem at the moment is. And I realized when I was sorting out a lot of the clothes in the bedrooms, and also you will see my kitchen at the moment, one of the biggest problems after clothes that I have is all of my skincare and beauty products. You saw at the beginning of the video, the bathroom was absolutely overrun with stuff, and I realized that even my kids have so many toothbrushes and toothpastes that I don't even know which one belongs to who anymore. So I thought I'm gonna get rid of all of them and they only need to have one. I had to go through a lot of skincare, body products. Lately I've been hooked onto all the beauty side of TikTok, and I did end up buying quite a few things, and I thought, okay, before I keep buying new stuff, I need to actually see what I've got at home so I don't end up with a lot of repeating things. And because all of my stuff are always scattered around the house, you would have seen me if you followed my channel for a while. Pretty much every time I have to clean the kitchen, I do have some sort of lotions or nail polishes or something on the breakfast bar, and it's just always all over the place. So I had to think long and hard what my problem is. And this is where organizing from the inside out came in helpful, because Julie advises to organize your things close to the place, close to the space where you actually use them. And I thought, okay, this is what the issue is, because I always do my nails downstairs. I tend to do all of my skincare in the bathroom, even though I was keeping a lot of stuff in my bedroom. And I do most of my hair upstairs, but all of the kids' hairs and all of their hairstyling and stuff is done downstairs. So I thought I have to try and do it a little bit more in a category type of thing, where I decide what do I do where in order to know where to take all the products. And that's why the video got so complicated. I had to first of all declutter the bathroom that was filmed on Wednesday, and I went through all of our toothpaste, toothbrushes. As I said, I've only allowed one per person. And the same with toothpaste. The kids had so many that they're kind of half finished, half no. I don't know how they squeeze them lately. I've allowed them a little bit more independence, and my bathroom is suffering for it. But I guess it is just that phase of life that I can't keep skipping and avoiding. I can't keep brushing their teeth until they're teenagers. So, it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to put up with it. And I went through all of my skincare. I wanted to see what I have and decide what I'm gonna keep in the bathroom. I did take a lot of things from my bedroom, a whole unit that you saw we brought in, that used to stay next to my vanity desk, but I never really used it in my bedroom. I would just take things out of there, use them in the bathroom, and because my bedroom always gets so messy, I would just end up leaving them in the bathroom. And because they don't have a space there, I would just leave them on any flat surface that I have. And this is why my bathroom was always getting very messy. So I had to go through all of our bathroom stuff, all of my skincare, hair care, everything that I use upstairs, and try and declutter and make space for the things from my bedroom and things from maybe, well, there were a few things from downstairs that had to come up as well. Then I moved on to decluttering the laundry area, and surprisingly, this time it wasn't full of cleaning products and laundry, because I have been trying to stay on top of that. And I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of cleaning products. I have been decluttering this area for a while in terms of my cleaning stuff. However, it had a bunch of skincare things in here, hair care. Other things I decided to minimalize now that I'm seeing the video is the amount of hair brushes we have in the house. So again, I'm gonna try and at least half it. So for every hairbrush that I keep, I'm gonna try and bin another one. And lately, I've gotten heavily into doing my own beauty treatment. So I had my wax warmers in here, I had my facial steamer, other things. Back at the beginning of September, I don't know if I've mentioned to you, but I got myself a massage bed, and now Nick, myself, my sister, we tend to do a lot of pamper days and beauty treatments at home. And this is the area where I will be organizing all of these things, because for the moment, the playroom is the probably the best place for me to open up that portable beauty bed, massage bed, whatever it's called, and have the treatments done in here. Something else that creates clutter for me is our supplements. When I first organized this room, I believe it was like probably about 18 months ago or so, I had put all of our supplements and medicine and just random things in this cupboard. But we've noticed that in order to stay consistent with our supplements and to take them daily, they are probably best to stay in the kitchen. And I will take supplements out of this cupboard, use them in the kitchen, leave them on the kitchen counter. They were not making it back to this cupboard. So now I'm going to try and take all the supplements and organize them in the kitchen. That's why I said the video is a little bit confusing, because I'm jumping between the three rooms. I haven't really filmed a lot in the kitchen, because that would be my next video and it will be mainly focused around the kitchen. But anyway, I had to go through all of our supplements. We had more toothbrushes and toothpaste in here. And that's because I always thought, well, when I was helping the kids, it was easy for me sometimes to just take them in the bathroom downstairs and brush their teeth before school. But now that they're doing it themselves, that just doesn't happen anymore. They like to all three of them go upstairs. So I realized I don't need to keep toothbrushes and toothpaste downstairs, even though I always thought it would be convenient to be here. Apparently no one uses it. So I am trying to free up space in this cupboard in order to reorganize it and have the beauty products that I use downstairs in there, and move the supplements to the kitchen. That would also help a little bit with the bedroom, because I'm finally trying to gather and organize all of my nail polishes and nail stuff. And now that I have gotten back into doing gels and nail art, I've ended up buying a few new things. So I have like a whole mini nail salon that I need to sort out. That would all come here instead of being in the bedroom, so hopefully that will help me when I start sorting out the bedroom. It will help me get some of those things out of there. And the whole hope, the whole idea is that if the items are close to the rooms or in the rooms where I use them, then I shouldn't have to scatter them around the house and create a big cluttered mess. I don't have to move them around too much. I hope this makes sense. It does make sense in my head. I'm not sure if you're managing to follow my train of thought, because as I said, it was a very complicated and very mentally tiring video. Way too much decision making for my liking. And once I'm done with finally organizing all of these things, I will try and get the footage of what it looked like last time I've organized it compared to what it would look like now. And here is a quick sneak peek as to why all of this was necessary in order to fix my kitchen, because all of my nail polishes and a lot of skincare and a lot of other things were cluttering my dining table and the breakfast bar. And in order to sort them out, I wanted to free up space in the rooms where they actually have to go. And I also wanted to make sure that I do have all the necessary cleaning supplies that I would need for the deep cleaning. So for those of you who are following along the series, first of all, I want to apologize for not being very consistent. And that is partly because I was unwell for a week. My kids brought in some weird bug that 1 week I was really low in energy. I thought that that's it. Once I felt like I'm recovering a little bit, but then all of a sudden I got hit with bronchitis and I completely lost my voice as well because my cough was really bad. So I had to take a few days off, and then this video took me 3 days to record. So the first part, when I decluttered the bathroom, that was done on a Wednesday. Then I decluttered, well, you could say decluttered, but I didn't reorganize the utility area. That was done on Thursday, and then deep cleaning the bathroom was done on Friday, and the voiceover of this video is done on a Saturday morning. So that was a very long process for me. But anyway, for you, I will give you a few ideas of things that you might want to go through when you're decluttering, or even if you don't need to do a big declutter, just things that in general should be gone through every so often. Starting with medicine, make sure that you don't have things that have expired, and you don't have things that, I don't know, maybe you've used for something but you know you're not likely to reuse again. Like I had a small bottle of when my youngest was in nursery and he had got threadworms. They had prescribed him medicine, and I still had a lot of leftover that wasn't expired, but it's not something that I think he would need. I hope he never needs it again, and if he does, then I'll just have to get a new prescription for it anyway. So that's just an example. I had some antibiotics that were given to me a few months ago. They were still within the expiration date, but again, it's not something that I would just use without medical advice again. So there were things that I managed to get rid of. There were a few things that had expired, and over the years I have learned that because we are mainly Nurofen and paracetamol kind of family, I really don't need to have a lot of other things. I don't need to have a lot of other medication. Also, keep a mental note or just keep a running list of all the stuff that you might have to buy. For example, I know that my kids, because we were all ill over the last 2 weeks, my kids are running out of some of their Calpol and Nurofen. I will have to repurchase those. because it's something that I want to have in case of an emergency. Also, I need to get more plasters because we are running low, and things like that. Go through your bathrooms and check your toothbrushes. I believe they should be changed every 3 to 6 months. So maybe if you have an old toothbrush that's completely given up on life, you might want to change that. Check your toothbrushes. If you have a bunch of different types of shampoos and most of them are running out, or you bought something but you didn't get along with, you didn't like it, whatever it is, just get rid of all of those things. You don't need to keep them. If you know that you're not going to use it again or you're not likely to use it again, just free yourself from it. This is what I've been doing. Again, as I mentioned, supplements as well, they are the same as medicine. Check their expiry date and see if it's something that you actually like, and if you don't like it, why did you stop using it? Is it because your body maybe doesn't agree with it? Is it because you don't like the taste? Whatever it is, just free yourself up of everything that you no longer use. And it's the same with cleaning products. If something only has a tiny little bit left and you know that you can't even get a whole room out of it, it's probably best to just throw it and get a new one, or make sure to use it up, put it right at the front, make sure that you finish it off. And again, when it comes to cleaning products, I personally prefer to just have two, and that's an all-purpose cleaner and a window cleaner. I do have, well, apart from the toilet cleaners, that's one thing, that I have a lot of toilet cleaners and bleaches, and it's because Nick keeps buying them pretty much every time he goes to the shop. He ends up buying a bottle, but he cleans the toilets daily, so that's his own thing. But yes, you don't need to have a bunch of different things unless your house really needs it. I do have some lime scale remover, oven cleaners and other things like that I use for my deep cleans, but I'm not the biggest fan. And you can see in the video right now, I'm deep cleaning the bathroom, and I had to end up putting gloves and mask because the lime scale remover that I used choked me out so bad. I was coughing like crazy even with the window open. I had to get out of the room and put a mask on. I'm just not a fan of it. But this bathroom had become so gross and disgusting. I showed you the before of exactly how filthy the sinks were, and I'll show you the after once I'm done. So that was the day when I had to do almost like a spring clean, an autumn clean, a very, very deep clean of the whole bathroom. This is what I'm planning to do with the whole house, and then stick to a routine, hopefully inspired by some of the Fly Ladies methods, that I would never have to do this again. And I know this is not the first time I've said it, but now that I have finally gotten into the decluttering and finally gotten into just freeing myself up from stuff, because I feel like it's holding me back, I think maybe this is it. I hope this is it. I can finally do it. Just a side note to the video, somehow I managed to get the blinds stuck and I couldn't finish cleaning them off. I did eventually do it in the evening when Nick came back. He fixed them for me and I did clean them, but I forgot to film them again because by that time I was done. And also I'm showing you the hard lime scale that had built on these things that are in the sink. Right now I completely forgot their name. I can't even think of it. But anyway, I had to use a little scraper to get rid of it, and it worked out like magic. If you're using a little scraper, just be careful, because last year when I did a really deep clean, I flicked off some of the paint that's behind that first tub that I just cleaned. There is a little dot that I flicked up some of the paint. Nick has promised that now when I deep clean it, he'll go ahead and fix up the paint and also redo the silicone sealant around the sinks, because you will see when I give you the zoom in that some of the silicone has really worn out and it really needs to be redone. But he said just finish cleaning it first, and then I will do that as well as part of the just household maintenance. And there are couple of things that I didn't get to properly film towards the end. One was, as I said, the blinds. Once Nick managed to put them down, I did cleaned them. But I didn't film that part. I also wiped down the door, which is not in the video. I don't know what happened. And I did steam mop the floor once I was completely done in the evening. But again, I did that once I had finished organizing all the products, and I completely forgot to film. And when it comes to organizing the products, because that took me about 2 hours to go through everything properly and wipe every single thing down, I didn't record that. I did take the basket where I put everything in and I emptied it on the floor. I tried to separate it into categories. So I have cleansers, toners, moisturizers, the kids products, NYX products. Everything went into a separate category. However, I did show you at the end of the video what it looks like now and how I've organized it. I just didn't go through the process of separating everything and doing it in categories and wiping it down, because this is already a long video and I don't think that would have been particularly interesting. And you will see in just a few minutes that I used my speed mop to wipe down all the walls and the ceilings. Again, I don't have a footage of cleaning every single wall, and that's because I just couldn't be bothered to move my tripod around, and I did end up closing the door on you when I was cleaning the bathtub side. So I am sorry for some of the missing footage, but you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. By the end of the video, the bathroom was spotless clean everywhere. I had deep cleaned it within an inch of its life. And now I'll give you a few tips for those of you who are struggling like me from the Sink Reflections book by the Fly Lady on how to declutter your house if it's a huge mess the way what I'm dealing with now, or even worse. I haven't really used a lot of the strategies in this particular video, but I do find some of them very helpful. Just a note, because I saw the footage: when you're cleaning your bathrooms, always use that as a reminder to wash all of your towels and your bath mats, whatever you have. I think this was the rule from the 30 days to a clean and organized home that I did as a challenge last year. I think that's where it was from, but it's a great rule that I have been using and it works really well. And for me, that would be in the future, I will do Monday as my bathroom cleaning day, and Monday would also be part of my laundry routine where I do towels and bath mats because I clean the bathrooms. But that's a whole topic for another video. Now, tips on decluttering. The first one is 27 Fling Boogie, and Fly Lady suggests that you go around the house or in particular room or particular cupboard, whatever it is, and try and find 27 items to discard or 27 items to give away. So you just go around, you go as fast as you can without thinking, collect your 27 items, get rid of them, and that's done. That's one session of decluttering complete. Now, I, as someone with ADHD, find that very difficult. One, because I don't want to count through things. Two, I get very confused, and 27 items sounds a lot, and I'm not sure what counts as one, what counts as multiples. I get confused. So I personally don't use the 27 Fling Boogie, but for a lot of people it works like magic. In her book, there is a story of a lady who decided to go through her underwear cupboard. She wanted to get rid of a few bras, but ended up getting all 27 items from that underwear drawer, and it was completely decluttered by the end of it. That's just an example. Another thing she suggests is 5 minutes room rescue. This is something that I might have to end up using in my playroom at the moment because it's really bad, or maybe in one of our sheds. But basically, you spend 5 minutes in a room where you can't even walk into, and just try and pull things out just for 5 minutes to try and start emptying that room, or try and make a little walkway for yourself to get inside, whatever it is. 5 minutes every single day you go in and you try and pull things out. Another strategy she advises, and I think that's mainly for cleaning, but you could use it in general, it's to clean with a timer in 15 minutes intervals. So in the example in the book, she says you start off by doing your sink and your dishes for 15 minutes, and once you're done you set another 15-minute timer and you go into your living room and collect all the toys, books, magazines, whatever you might have scattered around, rubbish. Once that timer goes off, you go back into the kitchen, set another 15 minutes timer, and continue with your dishes and move on to sorting out your counters. And after every 45 minutes, you take 15 minutes break where you can sit down and relax, have tea, whatever you need. This is something that I also find very helpful if you're not very motivated and you don't know where to start. 15 minutes at a time is great. Or she does say go by your own abilities and your own needs. For some people, maybe 15 minutes is too much. You can reduce down to 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you can manage, but always try and take a break afterwards. And I'm gonna have to leave all the advice here because we have come to the end of the video. I will give you more advice and more strategies in my next video when I fully focus on the kitchen. Hopefully that will be uploaded within a few days. I don't think the kitchen will take me a whole week, but this is now my bathroom finished. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll quickly show you what I've done. So I have the kids products right on top and NYX products because they always get confused. Then mine are separated into cleansers, toners, different kind of serums. In this drawer here I have all of my moisturizers, gua shas. I have a drawer for wet wipes and a drawer for all of my pads, and then one with razors and some overflows. Then in here I have all the toothbrushes, toothpaste, facial masks and facial brushes. And on the side I have body care, hair care, and a lot of sheet masks. See you in my next one. Bye.